Hello, everybody.
Right. Good afternoon. We are on the record in the 53rd Circuit Court for the County of Sheboygan, and we are providing public access both in the courtroom and also online. We have a trial scheduled next week, and counsel have advised me that there's been a resolution of the matter. It is the case of People versus Justin Roth, file 23-6664FH. Counsel, please state your appearances for the record.
Melissa Goodrich, Boyne County Prosecutor.
And good afternoon, Your Honor. James Gilbert here on behalf of Mr. Roth.
All right, and Mr. Roth, can you see and hear us fine, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, would you please raise your right hand for me? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Mr. Roth, a guilty plea hearing is an important event. It includes the waiver of rights that you have, so please listen carefully. If you have any questions for me, just go ahead and ask me. I'm happy to answer them. If you need a minute to talk to your attorney, just let us know. We can facilitate that. I have to advise you the maximum penalty for the charge you'd be pleading to under the plea agreement is a count one and amended information, aggravated indecent exposure, which is a high court misdemeanor punishable by a maximum of 2 years and or a $2,000 fine. Do you understand that maximum penalty, sir?
Yes.
All right. Now, if you enter a guilty plea, you won't have a trial and you'll give up the rights that you would have had at that trial next week. Do you understand that?
Yes.
I want to remind you of the most important of those rights. You have the right to be tried by a jury and at that trial to be presumed innocent unless and until the prosecutor proved your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. The right to have the witnesses against you appear and to question them. The right to present witnesses in your own defense and have me order them to appear. The right to testify in your own defense or to remain silent and not have your silence used against you. Do you understand this?
Yes.
And do you wish to waive those rights and enter a plea according to an agreement in front of me today?
Yes.
If I accept your plea, you can't come back later and tell me that it was not your own free choice for any reason at all, including threats or promises made to you beyond those contained in the plea agreement. Do you understand this?
Yes, Judge.
And also, when you enter a plea of guilty, you lose the right to appeal. And if you later wanted to appeal to a higher court, you would have to seek permission to do so by filing an application. And the types of issues that you could raise on that appeal are very limited, much more limited than if you were convicted after a trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, the plea agreement provides, in exchange for your plea of guilty to the aggravated indecent exposure that I outlined, the prosecutor will dismiss the enhancement of that charge and will dismiss the remaining charges and the enhancements. There is also a sentence agreement that if any incarceration is ordered, it will not exceed 90 days. And also that this will be a non-registerable offense under SORA, including the catch-all provision, which I do believe is the way that the law would treat this charge that you're pleading to. But then it's in the plea agreement that clearly is the intent of the parties. Do you understand that plea agreement, sir?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Gilbert, is that a full, fair, and accurate statement of its terms?
It is, Your Honor.
Ms. Goodrich?
Yes.
Mr. Roth, that sentence agreement is not binding on me. If I didn't want to follow it, I wouldn't have to. But if I did not follow it, you would be allowed to withdraw your plea, not having received what you bargained for. Do you understand that?
Yes, I believe so, Your Honor.
Okay, meaning that I either have to follow that agreement or you can withdraw your plea.
Okay, I understand.
Now, there's an important exception to that rule. If you engaged in some misconduct between now and the sentencing date, say by not appearing for your sentencing date or absconding on your bond, violating your bond, or committing a new crime, by that type of misconduct, you would forfeit the right to withdraw the plea, even if I did not follow the sentence agreement. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor. Yep. I do.
Other than the plea agreement, has anybody promised you anything to get you to enter your plea today?
No.
Has anybody threatened you to make
No.
you do so?
No,
Is
no,
it your own free? Is it your own free choice to enter that plea today?
Yes, it is.
Knowing all this, how do you wish to plead to the charge in count 1, aggravated indecent exposure?
Plead guilty to that charge.
Okay, Mr. Gilbert, would you assist with a factual basis?
I'd be happy to, Your Honor. Sir, can you state your name for the record?
Justin Roth.
And Mr. Roth, were you operating a vehicle May 28th of last year, 2023?
Yes.
And were you operating that vehicle on a public road in Sheboygan County?
Yes.
And at some point in time, you got that vehicle next to another vehicle in which the driver of the other vehicle could see inside your vehicle?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay. And at the time when that person looked inside your vehicle, would you agree that you were masturbating?
Yes.
And basically, at some point in time, she tried to pull away, but you stayed in visual contact with her for a duration of time. Is that correct?
Correct.
And again, that happened in Sheboygan County.
Sheboygan County.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. I have no further questions, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Gilbert, you're satisfied with the factual basis?
I am.
Ms. Goodrich?
Yes.
And Mr. Gilbert, are you aware of any other promises, threats, or inducements?
I am not, Your Honor.
Ms. Goodrich?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Gilbert, in your judgment, has the court fully complied with the requirements of MCR 6.302?
I believe the court has. Thank you.
Ms. Goodrich?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Roth, I do find that your plea is knowingly, understandingly, and voluntarily made, and that there is a sufficient basis in fact and law for me to believe that you are guilty of count 1. So I will accept your plea. We'll schedule sentencing. Mr. Gilbert, before the court convened, did communicate a request to schedule that later into October due to some family needs that you have. So we'll do that. We'll schedule it for October 22nd at 2:30 in the afternoon. You will have to contact the probation parole office to talk to a probation officer so that they can prepare a report for me before the sentencing, making recommendations. You have to cooperate with that process. And Ms. Goodrich, any objection to continuation of bond then?
No objection.
We'll continue your bond. We'll see you on October 22nd at 2:30 in the afternoon. Any questions for me, Mr. Roth?
No.
Okay, good day to you. We'll be in recess.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. That boy needs Jesus. So we should probably go on over to church court.
Yes, Your Honor. We can call the matter of Fallis Harris.
All right, Fallis Harris Jr., cause number 3A0240056. Hello, Mr. Harris.
So,
All right, this is on for a probation review, I believe. Probation violation alleged. Let me go ahead and get that pulled up. See what we've got. All right, and Ms. Foster, I have one dated just for yesterday, 6 alleged violations.
Your Honor, there's an updated one, I think, with 8.
There's an even newer one.
Sorry, Your Honor. I sent them back to back because I realized I needed to add the 2 others, so
Oh.
there should be 8.
You know what? Yeah, actually, I have them both, so I have that as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So 8 violations alleged. Mr. Lockhart, is defense able to admit or deny those today?
And Your Honor, we would just note, I think we've previously, we did deny those. Okay. At this time, Your Honor, we are asking to enter a denial on each of these matters.
Okay. Denials on numbers 1 through 8 are entered. The warrant was issued as $1,000 cash or a court-approved performance bond. Would probation like to be heard on release conditions?
Thank you, Your Honor. This is a hard one. It's unfortunate. I was honestly hoping that maybe on his pretrial case that he would have been put on TAD. I mean, I think that some kind of a bracelet would be probation's recommendation. I realize that there might be a financial burden with that. in regards to the bail amount, I'll defer, but I do think that there needs to be some kind of tightened restrictions or conditions, just given the fact that my concern is that that there's this progression of things that are happening. It started with cannabis, and then now we're looking at DUI and minor in possession. So I don't know if the court wants to do a bracelet or.
Was Mr. Harris, was he that PR'd then on the district court DUI that was discharged?
He was.
And there was no scram or TAD?
From what I can see in jabs, I don't see that there was.
Okay.
It looks like he's on pretrial monitoring for that, but
I guess here's where I'm at, and I'll of course hear from you, Mr. Lockhart, but I mean, I think scram is probably necessary. If there's a scram bracelet attached, would probation be fine releasing Mr. Harris with that and a report to probation?
yes.
Okay, Mr. Lockhart, do you want to be heard on that? Just 1 second, Mr. Harris. I'm going to hear from your attorney first. I'll hear from you in a moment, though.
So we're still I guess is probation deferring on the bail amount?
Yes.
It sounds like probation was okay with the PR as long as scram is attached.
That would be probation's request. I still will monitor with UAs because we still have the cannabis.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah. And I believe the monitoring is on the new DUI as well.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So that's probation's position at this point. Is there any objection to that, Mr. Lockhart?
I mean, if it's going to be a PR release with the scram, Your Honor, then certainly no objection. I don't think that'd be a problem.
Okay. Mr. Harris, I know you've been, raising your hand there. What is it you want me to know, sir? Just please don't talk about any of the facts, the new cases, any of that. I don't want to have you put something on the record there.
So if I get PR'd on this case with the warrant, I don't got to post bail, but I have the little bracelet from my ankle.
The bracelet will be attached on this case, but I'll release you on this case. I don't think you're held on anything else. So it looks like there might be $1,000 bond out of district court on an MIP. I'm showing you were PR'd on the DUI, but the jail roster doesn't show a PR on the MIP, so I guess I'm not sure what's going on there, but.
They said the bail was for this warrant on for the DUI out of municipal here.
Let me double check and see if I can find out that information in the docket here. Either way, sir, I am going to order the scram bracelet. I think at this point the court can reasonably make a finding there has been a violation of probation conditions. Scram is the least restrictive alternative here. So I'll give you a chance, sir, but I need to be very, very clear. You are on thin ice right now, Mr. Harris. You've picked up new charges. As far as I can tell, it really doesn't look like you've been complying with probation. So this is your one and probably final opportunity, at least in this court. You got to report to probation when you get out. You're going to have the scram bracelet on, which will know if you're consuming alcohol. And if you do, you're probably going to get, the court's going to issue a warrant. You're going to wind up right back in jail. So hopefully you take this seriously because it is serious at this point, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to be a minute. I need to fill out the order to that effect, but we'll review it together in just a second.
And, Your Honor, we do have a private counsel here representing Mr. Hoynes, just FYI.
Great. All right. As soon as we finish here with Mr. Harris, we'll take Mr. Hoynes. I'll be just a minute.
No worries, and good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Smith. Thank you. All right, Ms. Foster, when would you like to set a review date here for those denied violations?
Your Honor, I don't remember what your the calendar looks like. I feel like maybe 4 to 6 weeks, whatever works best.
Okay.
I know it might be full the next couple weeks, I think.
We could do 5 weeks, shows there's only 11 people on 925. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that works. Thank you.
All right, your review date then, Mr. Harris, is going to be September 25th at 1:30. The order reads as follows. The violations numbers 1 through 8 are denied. You are PR'd today with scram, so we're going to enter a scram order, which if there isn't already one in there, I'm going to have to add that. So Scram, again, is a 24/7 alcohol monitor. It will ensure that you're not consuming intoxicants. And other than that, you need to report to probation as soon as you get out. Head right on over there and check in with them. And then we'll see you on September 25th, 1:30 for that review date. You have any questions
Yes,
about
sir.
that, sir?
Nope.
Okay. Signing off on the probation order. I just need to sign off on the Scram order as well. So give me just a second to fill that out and we'll get you on your way.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Lockhart, do you have a good phone number by any chance for Mr. Harris for the Scram order?
I can.
What's it ended? Mr. Harris, do you have a phone number ending in 3172?
No, it's 5670.
Okay, I just needed a good phone number for the order. I've added that. Are you still on Main Street in Linden, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, I'll go ahead and sign off on that order. And Mr. Lockhart, if you could just sign off on the Scram order as well.
Certainly, Your Honor.
Great. All right, Mr. Harris, thank you, sir. Please just make sure to check in with probation, comply with the conditions, and hopefully we'll be able to get this all addressed in September at your review hearing.
All right. Do I go over to probation after this or?
Yes, as soon as you get out, head straight there.
All right. Yeah.
Okay? All right, thank you, sir.
Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.